What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Blue, and this new throttle mod I got is exactly what I've been looking for quite a while, so let me tell you why. This is the Thrustmaster TCA Boeing throttle, and I put two of them together to give me a total of 6 axes. You could use just one single unit, but I prefer to use two since each unit only has 3 axes. Still a weird design choice to me. Either way, I believe in making the best with what you got. And this is not a bad throttle. It's extremely smooth and functional, but the throttle handles themselves are way too small compared to the real thing. I got a chance to fly in a full-size 737 sim, and I've been spoiled ever since. So now, here we have a much larger set of throttle levers made by Sierra Delta. They're 3 times larger than the ones you get from Thrustmaster, but they are so easy to install. You just slide them on and tighten them with a screw on the front. You can also get a speed brake and a mechanical flap lever and detent that requires you to pull the flap lever up before moving it through the gates, just like the real thing. Just like many other throttle mods on the market, this one is also 3D printed, so a few rough edges here and there, but nothing distracting. It's surprisingly very light, so my first impressions was that I thought it felt a bit fragile and maybe even cheap, so I'm a bit weary that I might break it on accident. So far so good though. But you don't have to have 2 throttle units. This can also work on a single TCA throttle. This mod also includes the exact same engravings that match the real world 737 throttle. But a couple of my favorite features are the working toga and auto throttle disconnect buttons. Pretty cool they figured out a way to add that. Although the downside is these features add an additional USB cord to your setup, so that's just something to keep in mind. But let's hop in Microsoft Flight Sim and give it a try. Alright, I have my flaps now installed with the detents, and let's go ahead and test it here in the PMDG 737 to see if they match up. So you have to pull it up and down, which I always like that pulling up and down mechanism. So we'll pull it down into the first notch of flaps, which is going to be under the cover, and then down into flaps 2, flaps 5, flaps 10, flaps 15, which is also under the cover, and then we go down in 25. Actually, sorry, I skipped 25. That's 25 right there. Like, you can't really feel it, like, because when you pick it up, you can pick it up all the way and bring it down, so you can sort of feel the notches a little bit, but it's not obvious. So then we go into 30, 40. That's our last notch, and we can't go any farther down than that. And again, if we want to go all the way up, we go to 15 and all the way back up to 1. So it is in sync perfectly, which is great. The only thing I would change, honestly, is I would recommend adding some sort of sticker or just some kind of way that you can visually see what notch you're in rather than just the notches. You know, if you fly 737s all the time, it's not really much of an issue because you know, all right, the third notch is flaps 5 or whatever it may be, but it'd be nice to be able to actually visually see, look over here at the flap lever and be like, all right, yeah, I'm in notch 10 now. All right, here we are approaching the runway 20 left here in Nashville, Tennessee. We're in the PMDG 737-800, and one thing that I do love about this actual throttle by Thrustmaster is that it is one of the smoothest feeling axes for the throttle versus any other product that I've actually used. One of the smoothest for sure. But when you attach these this mod on top of it, it definitely adds a lot to it. I like the scale of it. It feels very comfortable where it sits here. I'm using the Next Level Racing chair, but you could also have this mounted on the desk or however you want to do your setup. But it feels very natural as far as how large the actual throttle is. It feels better than I expected, to be honest with you. At first I thought it was a bit flimsy. Once you get it installed, it's very nice and secure on the throttle, and it's not really going to have any issues. So I like how it feels. We're going to do a full rejected takeoff with toga. So we're going to try that out. I got my flaps already set to 5. One thing I noticed and that I wish maybe they had was maybe some type of way of knowing what notch you're in. Like, it's nice that it has the notches, just like the real 737 does. But if you're not familiar with which notch is flaps 5 versus 10 versus 15, it'd be nice to be able to look over to the right and look at the actual throttle and see maybe some numbers lined up right there. I think that'd be pretty nice. So that would be what I would suggest as maybe a new design in the future for the flaps. But it does work, and it does pull up and down, which is nice as well. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and run it up to 40%. Actually, I'm running it all the way to max just to get a good feel. Yeah, that feels nice. That feels nice. I love just the size of this. This feels just right, I gotta say. And I love how my hands really just sit here right on the throttle, just as you would in a real thing. All right, 40%, we'll run that there. And when I let go, you see the throttles don't just fall back down. Even though these are heavier than the default throttles, it still is light enough. And I think that's the reason why it's so light, is because if you made it any heavier, the throttles, when you let go, will just fall back down due to gravity. So maybe that's probably the reason why they did that. I would personally like a thicker, heavier throttle, but hey, you know, you got to work with what you got. All right, so we're 40%. All right, we're gonna hit the toggle switch right underneath. There it is. Toggle's activated. We are rolling. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna rest my hands here on the throttle. Airspeed is alive. The butt kicker is kicking. I love it. 80 knots. Uh-oh, we have an issue. Rejected. There it is. Reverse was maxed. Both engines. Come on, come on, come on. Get stopped, get stopped. There we go. Nice. Wow, okay, so, man, that's pretty cool, actually. That they're pulling those reversers is actually very satisfying, I have to say. They're still not, like, in real life, the reversers are a little bigger. They actually touch in the middle. But, you know, not sure why they decided to design it this way, but whatever. It is what it is. But it does still feel good. It actually fits perfectly in my index and in my ring finger. I can just pull it right back, yank it back. And at first, honestly, I was a bit scared because, again, the throttle itself, the mod, feels very lightweight. And I'm kind of concerned about breaking it. That's how lightweight it is. Like, I feel like if I'm too rough with it, I feel like I might break it. But I was able to really yank that reverse lever back, and it took it pretty good. So, and when you push it back in with both hands, yeah, it's very satisfying. I like that. I do like that. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice little rejected takeoff test there. The truth is, this is not going to make you a better pilot. It's not going to make your landing smoother. But for me, it's all about the feel. And I want to feel like I am sitting in the real thing, or close to it. And this is a step towards that. So if you have the Thrustmaster TCA Throttle, this could be a really good upgrade option for you. But as I always say, never pay full price. And if you haven't noticed by now, there are a lot of product discounts I have negotiated for you guys down in the description, including 10% off this very throttle set from Sierra Delta, and also 15% off Thrustmaster Flight Sim products, and even my chair has a discount code. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful to you. Until next time, remember you have 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video.